Welcome, everyone. It is 6:30. I'm being told to get everyone to their tables. Dr. Crabtree, I'm looking at you. Dr. Larson. Everyone can take their seats. All right, we're going to get started. Don't make me get Dan Canuck up here. I'm going to get Dr. Canuck up here if you guys don't quiet down. So, welcome, everyone. We're just showing a couple photos. Oh, there is sound. There it is. The mouse is not my friend. There's an advancer. I don't need the mouse. Good evening and welcome everyone to the Department of Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences 2026 graduation ceremony. My name is Anna Momont. I'm the Residency Program Director and MC for tonight's program. I am so excited to celebrate the accomplishments of these amazing humans with all of you tonight. For those of us involved in ophthalmic resident and fellow training, this is always a bittersweet time, sending our ophthalmic kiddos out into the world. We will miss their smiling faces, skilled hands, and conscientious patient care, but we are also very much looking forward to the impact that they will have on their communities and on our profession. Tonight, we are celebrating Drs. Jack Horger, Rishi Mankad, and Kevin Schneider, as well as our cornea fellow, Dr. Patricia Campos, and retina fellow, Dr. Tyler Etheridge. You can always count on those retina guys. They're very loud. But before we can talk more about them, I need to acknowledge all the folks who make this training program a success. My amazing associate program director and the guy who gets everything done, Dr. Jonathan Chang. Our beloved Vice Chair of Education, Dr. Daniel Canuck. The woman pulling all the strings behind the scenes, Dr. Tatiana Schneider. Our global ophthalmology manager and photo expert, Hannah Baker. Educational technology coordinator and guy who's going to bail me out tonight, David Pillith. Our residency program manager who started recently but is already so much a part of the team, Maggie Schrader. Jess Benton, whose calm and strength helps get those medical students where they need to be. And Jen LaRosa, whose cell phone I now have, our fellowship manager. So I can go to her anytime. But beyond our education team, there are so many people that make this training institution a success. Our administrative staff, who's here with us tonight, our ophthalmic technicians, some of whom have joined us this evening, and nurses, and of course, our dedicated and talented faculty. David said that every one of our clinical faculty has helped out this year in purchasing some UW Terrace chairs for our residents. I'm not sure if they've all paid up yet, but we thank them so much every day for all that they do. This is not an easy task to teach you all to be ophthalmic surgeons, and we really appreciate them. And thank you for the gift as well. In addition to our clinical residents and fellows, I want to take a moment to recognize our other graduates from DOVS. Our pre-residency fellows, Dr. Jacob Bogus and Dr. Shelby Storm. Our optometry extern, Dr. Ethan Long. And our PhD graduates, Dr. Jacob Kusin and Dr. Serena Weisner. And just like any good mother, I must recognize all of my children this evening, although only by class because my job is to get us out of here before the lights are turned off. So I just love how these photos really highlight the personalities of the classes. With this incoming class of PGY1s at the bottom, we'll actually be up to 4 residents in every class, putting us at an even 12. Very exciting. And thank you for coming here to support our graduates tonight. With that, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. Barb Bellotti was chosen by the graduating class to give some words tonight. Dr. Bellotti is a retina specialist and the director of the Wisconsin Reading Center. She completed her residency at Bascom Palmer and later did a surgical retina fellowship at my residency in alma mater, the University of Michigan, where she met her husband, Justin Gottlieb. He's another amazing retina specialist with us. At the start of my residency, it was always helpful, because I was at the University of Michigan, to mention that I had been mentored by Drs. Bellotti and Gottlieb as a medical student at the university. The faculty at Kellogg always gave me more credit than was due, and even if I messed up, they were too busy gushing about Barb and Justin to notice. Although I have been assured that they plan to continue with significant involvement with the department, tonight also marks a graduation for both of them, who are retiring from clinical practice this next week. Thank you, Justin, for giving grand rounds this morning on one of your last days in practice. And thank you to Barb for agreeing to leave us all with some words of wisdom this evening.
Thank you for this wonderful honor. It's really a pleasure to be here tonight, and I'm going to focus on Kevin, Rushi, and Jackson. Congratulations on finishing residency. What a journey it has been. When I think about the journey of medical education and training, it starts with a lot of competition. Competition on who's going to go to medical school, who does well on exams, who's going to get an ophthalmology residency. It's really tough. And the irony is that when you start your residency, we all want you to get along. We all want you to get to work together, right? Because we want doctors to work as a team and to collectively find the best treatment for our patients. And you three seniors have accomplished that goal. And I'm going to divide my brief comments about the 2 categories that the 3 of you have mastered: teamwork and leadership. Teamwork. It's very rewarding to see the 3 of you build a great team of residents. Of course, the residency directors and the chair have something to do with that as well. But it's how the 3 of you built such a wonderful residency team. I will give you my opinion. You have strengthened the culture of teamwork in this residency, as you have encouraged all the residents to be fair in distributing clinical work and call time, and you've been extremely willing to help the junior residents, and that goes a long way. I believe you have done all this by building trust within the residents, among the residents. An important study of teamwork came from Google 10 years ago, where Google took 180 teams of over 1,000 people and interviewed them to find out what made the most effective team. And it turns out it's not your skill set, it's not your level of intelligence, it's not even the demographics of the team itself, it's psychological safety. How do you feel within your team? And I think that's very important because Rushi and Jackson, you have gone above and beyond the basics of a team by providing that psychological safety so that people feel comfortable asking questions and being somewhat vulnerable and providing their own ideas. So providing that environment of safety and trust has been so important in what you have done. You've excelled in creating this effective team that helped residents keep a work-life balance. And what's comforting to me, and I think to the rest of the people in the audience, is that you senior residents will continue to excel in building great teams. Jackson, Rushi, Kevin, you are already leaders. You have the skills to manage patients, counsel other physicians about your patients, and actively lead medical students and residents while you are training them. So please continue to grow these skills. There are many opportunities for leadership in ophthalmology as clinicians, researchers, educators, mentors, and finally as advocates for ophthalmology as a whole and for medicine. At first, you will be very busy getting acclimated to having your own practice and your own patients, but with time, you will see that you three are more than qualified to be leaders in ophthalmology. One short personal story before I close was that I want to tell you is that my dad was the chair of ophthalmology at the University of Iowa many years ago, and I was a kid at the time. And residents would come to our house. There would be barbecue or a poker party or other celebrations. So I kind of knew who the residents were. I didn't know much about what residents do. But about this time every year would be graduation time. And my dad would be getting ready to go to the ceremony, and he would tell me as a kid, he'd say, "Barb, this is the best group of residents we have ever had." And I didn't want to argue with him, because my dad, but after hearing this year after year, I thought to myself, is this even logical? Is it possible? And now I can confidently say, yes, this is possible, because I now see that these three senior residents are joining the best group of residents, the alumni of the DOVS Department of Ophthalmology. So you will be joining an ever-growing list of DOVS residents who've excelled during residency, and you will be among the best in your field. So to Kevin, Rushi, and Jackson, my deep felt congratulations and all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to do some faculty awards here, and I'll kick it off with the Outstanding Clinical Instructor of the Year. This individual can be described as pragmatic, systematic, and thoughtful. They have stepped into the role as educator and taken it to heart, and trainees are always learning something new with this doctor. He has a great habit of hashtag RTLing it at the end of clinic, running the list. And those are great learning opportunities and times for reflection. This person doesn't just talk the talk, they walk the talk, walk the walk, whatever it is. Word has it that they're a really good bass player too. We've had a lot of conversations about bass guitar in the clinic and OR. We were lucky to snag this cornea specialist, and now I have the privilege to work with him over the next year when I start fellowship. The Clinical Educator of the Year goes to Dr. Eric Weinlander.
Congratulations. Did I say anything? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I prepared some remarks, which I'll share with you later. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, looking forward to it next year. Congratulations, you guys. This really means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there are a very few things that have stayed stable throughout my residency education. But one of the things that has stayed pretty constant is my Friday morning workout routine. And no, it's not the physical education kind. Retina workout, which was started over 25 years ago when I was a little kid. Sorry. Was created by this attending to give residents more practice on interpreting fluorescein angiogram studies. And for those non-ophthalmologists in the crowd, it's like teaching people, kids that are savvy with text messages and emails, how to write a handwritten letter and going to the post office and sending it. What's remarkable is that retina workout has been so successful and popular throughout among all the residents that it's gone through very little changes in its 25-year history. It's become a role model for how other conferences are structured, and for good reason. It particularly prepares residents for the oral board examination, and it's the model for how our basic science lecture redesign is going. So that sounds like something that should win an award for outstanding contribution to residency education. I also wanted to congratulate this individual on a remarkable career, as he and Dr. Blody, as you know, will be retiring very soon. So it's my honor to present this award to Dr. Justin Gottlieb.
Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. Pretty emotional right now. So thank you to everyone. And it's been an amazing 29 years here. And I look forward to participating in the retina workout for a few more. Thank you.
All right, back to back. When I first came to Madison 4 years ago as a visiting student, I worked with this faculty member on my very first day. And after a brief introduction, they just threw me in, seeing patients on my own, coming up with my own assessment and plans. And 3 years ago, they did it again. On my very first week as a senior resident, they briefly prepared me, and then there I was doing cataract surgery, my first few steps. And before both of these experiences, you probably have heard this before, the same question was asked to us: do you want me to go easy on you, or do you want me to push you? And I'm very proud and happy to say that I chose the latter. That philosophy perfectly captures their philosophy as a teacher. I chose to be pushed, I was, and it wasn't always easy, but it made me a better surgical resident. Ophthalmology residency is a steep learning curve. You have to kind of learn how to do all these things in 3 years. And I can honestly say that I feel a little bit more confident entering practice after graduation because many of you were willing to push me along the way. So Dr. Kanak, I've certainly given you Oh, I'm not done. I'm not done. He came up too early. You came up too early.
Oh,
Yeah.
I still love you.
I've given you my fair share of headaches in the OR, flipped lenses, and not knowing righty tighty versus lefty loosey. But yeah, I was disappointed and upset at that moment. But I hope you know that us residents, we strive to do our best, not for our patients, not only for our patients, but also to make you proud. You've invested an incredible amount of time and education to our education and to our teaching at the VA. We're grateful to our veterans for making that possible, but also for instructors like you. So it's my honor to present the Outstanding Surgical Instructor of the Year Award. You can call him Dan or Dr. Dan, but to all his residents, he'll always be Dr. Canuck.
Thank you very much. These awards mean so much to us. So all the coronary plaques, they're well worth it. Thank you. All right, so I have the honor of introducing our Excellence in Resident Care Award. You know, there are a lot of named trophies in sports, the Lombardi, Lord Stanley, Larry Smith, that represent champions. And I think that this award, while he's not winning it tonight, should be called the David Pillith. He just has been such a great part of our residency experience over the past 4 years, and we really appreciate you, David. So this is the MDP, if you will. It will not be going to David tonight because it's boring when you give it to him every year. And we have so many talented people that make this residency experience wonderful. Tonight, this person's exciting, probably has no idea that they're going to be accepting this award. This is one of our technicians that works at the VA and works tirelessly to help serve our veterans, make our residents and our attendees' lives easier. I will be happy if you guys would give a warm welcome to Lori Methke to accept this award tonight.
I'm gonna hug up. I invited you all to this.
I am very grateful that I get to work with all these residents. They definitely teach me a lot of things over the years, and this, I'm very shocked right now, so, but this is wonderful. And I think you're all great.
Okay, and our final resident elected award is the Outstanding Clinical Fellow Teaching Award. And so I'm proud to say that this is a tough decision. You know, the university, our department really recruits a lot of great fellows that are not just outstanding clinicians, surgeons, but wonderful humans too, and really add to our residency experience. The individual who will be accepting this award is a potent combination of skill and humility. I say that because I just learned 2 weeks ago that he could windmill dunk in 2006 and was in a dunk competition and won that, I think. So I'll be introducing Dr. Tyler Etheridge, our resident, our retina fellow.
Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. The residents are great, and I definitely cannot dunk anymore. So thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, your time. Okay.
Okay, and now we'll be welcoming Dr. Canuck back up to the stage.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Distinguished Community Educator Award. So the Distinguished Community Educator Award was established back in 2015, and it's basically meant to recognize faculty for outstanding lifetime contributions to education. The award itself is decided at the education working group, so names are given, and then we kind of discuss everyone. There's so many wonderful educators to choose from. The criteria is they can't hold more than a 20% position in the faculty, but they definitely have to demonstrate a lifetime achievement. You can see for the past recipients on that list that there's lots of really high quality educators. So I'm proud to say that this year's Distinguished Educator Award goes to Sambrita Mondal. We should clap for her. She's not here though. So just saying. So if you're looking for her to stand up, she's not here. We can keep clapping if you want to though. But she's done an awesome job. So I'm pleased to announce that Sambrita is this year's Distinguished Community Educator recipient, and that she's a Doctor of Optometry, Clinical Adjunct Associate Professor of Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences, and a Senior Research Scientist. Her work on behalf of individuals with low vision really holds a lot of importance because there's 3 million people with vision impairments in the US that can't be corrected with glasses or contact lenses. Her research and interventions have played a very crucial role in enabling these individuals to lead independent lives by maximizing their remaining visual function. As a result of her hard work, the department now offers comprehensive low vision services that really rival a lot of the leading vision institutes nationwide. Her passion to provide patient care to low vision populations really is reflected in her teaching and mentorship. Over the past years, Dr. Mondal has been teaching medical students, residents, optometry externs, and faculty, and examining important low vision questions as a research scientist. Some examples of her teaching expertise: she coordinates and organizes and offers trainings and continuing medical education to our department's ophthalmologists on ways to provide comprehensive low vision care when surgical or refractive interventions are not applicable. I remember from her grand rounds, low vision and driving can be a little bit of a murky course, and she really helped with bringing in speakers for that not too long ago. She served as a clinical instructor with the School of Medicine and Public Health in our Mind in Motion course since 2015. In this course, she instructs first-year medical students on how to conduct a thorough eye examination, and she receives stellar scores, perfect all the time. She also mentors our residents on research projects commonly. She's always volunteering to do that more and more. And she collaborates with the Department of Computer Sciences to create and utilize people tracking software and technology. And the research may be utilized to enhance the application of augmented and virtual reality. So lots of diverse teaching, mentorship. She has done it for many, many years. And one final example, she is co-leading a new refractive rotation for the residents and spearheading the revamping of the optics course. Anyone who's tried to teach optics, it is not easy. So thank you to all of the optometry colleagues who are teaching optics. We appreciate you so much. And then from the start of her clinical adjunct faculty appointment, she has contributed 738 hours to teaching and mentoring as a clinical adjunct faculty. So yes, thank you, Jess. So we are privileged to have Sambrita as our colleague and champion. Her engagement with the department in the area of patient care, low vision rehabilitation, teaching, and research is quite remarkable, and she definitely deserves this award. So congratulations to her. As I said, she's unfortunately not here. She is spending time with her family in India, but she did actually give us a video. So I'm going to play that video now.
I'm sorry I couldn't be with you in person tonight, but I wanted to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to all of you for this incredible honor. I'm truly deeply humbled to be recognized for my contributions to teaching with this award. I take great pride in helping train the next generation of eye care professionals. I believe a learner's experiences help shape the practitioner they will ultimately become. I'm grateful to DOVS for the opportunity to introduce learners to low vision and vision rehabilitation and to highlight its important role in comprehensive ophthalmic care. I am also thankful for the chance to engage with UW graduate and undergraduate students, helping spark interest in the field of eye care and the many ways we can make a difference in patients' lives. To the graduates being honored tonight, I offer my heartfelt congratulations. I will fondly remember our trip together to the Heinz VA. I got to get to know each of you as a person, and it showed me what wonderful people you are and what kind of practitioners you are going to become. And I look forward to seeing what you do in your career. I know you will go to make many meaningful contributions to the field of ophthalmology. and to the patients and communities you serve. Thank you.
So you can see from that video just how much she cares about education, her passion. She's always willing to help any of our learners. So the next time you see Sambrita, please congratulate her. Okay, our next award is a new award. So the Hugo Higa Hidden Hero Award. It's got some nice alliteration to it. So this is a new award. So the purpose of this award is to recognize someone, whether that's faculty, support staff, or alumni, that has done extraordinary work, but somehow just remains in the shadows a little bit. For example, while some of you have very fond memories of Dr. Hugo Higa, who is here today, many of you know him more for his outstanding work and his contributions. Let's take a couple minutes to kind of unmask this hero before he tells us a little bit about his origin story. Some of you are in this next photo, Dr. Barney. I see you. So that photo in the upper left, you can see Hugo Higa in the middle. But this, way back in 1995, a resident, Dr. Hugo Higa, helped to found our department's first Right to Sight clinic. That was a resident-run, volunteer-driven, and community-based. With the mentorship and support from faculty such as Dr. Suresh Chandra and Dr. Guillermo Devanisha, Dr. Higa established a legacy that remains one of the department's most enduring community service initiatives. Over the past 30 years, the Right to Sight Clinic has grown from a single clinic into a comprehensive model of community-based ophthalmic care. Through the dedication of volunteers and the partnership of UW Health and community donors, it now provides essential eye care to uninsured patients throughout multiple clinics each year, while offering meaningful opportunities for service and learning to our faculty, staff, students, and technicians. The impact of Dr. Higa's vision extends far beyond the estimated 3,000 additional patients served since its inception. It has shaped generations of trainees and strengthened our department's enduring commitment to service, compassion, and community engagement. For these foundational efforts and in gratitude to all who have sustained this mission through their time, service, and generosity, we proudly celebrate Dr. Hugo Higa as a true hero of our department. All right. This is good that you did the same thing I did. Not quite there, but almost. So 2 more seconds, promise. No, right there is good. That's perfect. So to honor his remarkable legacy, we are thrilled to establish the Hugo Higa Hidden Hero Award. This award will recognize future generations of individuals who embody the same spirit of humility, leadership, service, and commitment. Dr. Higa, your legacy continues to inspire as we work together to advance equitable eye care for our community for years to come. I remember as a resident checking in patients in the Right to Sight clinic, feeling like you were giving back. So it's amazing that your legacy from 30 years. So yes, come on up if you would. Let me grab your plaque. And then Dr. Higa he's going to give a little bit of a story about your origin.
Yeah. First of all, aloha. I live in Hawaii now. I want to thank Dr. Kanak. I want to thank the residents and the staff who are willing to donate their time for this clinic, because this has always been a volunteer clinic. It's never been something that was a voluntold clinic. So anyone who participated in the clinics were people who wanted to be there. I want to thank the people who came to support me, in particular Neil Barney and Patricia Saab, who I worked with for many years, and especially to Andy Deliveris, who basically told him who was starting this clinic years ago. So, he was my first year when I was a third year, and he's already retired. So, I mean, that's how old we're getting. But another thing I should say real quickly is this is my 30th year since I graduated the program this year. So that's pretty amazing. Thank you. So what I wanted to say about the clinic is I just felt that there was a need to have an outreach to the people who were kind of falling through the cracks, who didn't have insurance, didn't have the Medicaid, and some of the people who came in from other countries who were not documented. And I just felt like it was important to provide for eye care. I spoke with Dr. Chandra and Dr. Devanisha, who both worked outside of the country with underserved communities. And I've always felt that we need to look at our own community as well. We can't just look overseas. So I started this by looking at all the homeless shelters. I went to the Salvation Army. I looked for all the areas where there would be underserved populations. And then I got help from Lens Crafters, Herzloff. We used to be the opticians there, Shopko, and Alcon to donate. And this is really important to know that it's, as Dr. Chandra told me, it's actually pretty easy to get money from organizations. They're willing to give money out. But what's hard is to have the people who are willing to use that to work towards a community or work whatever project you're doing. I went to Vietnam and I got all these donations from these drug companies to bring with me. So they're willing to do it. And it just takes you guys to want to be continuing this process of helping, you know, whatever endeavor that you have towards the community. So finally, I just want to say that, you know, global ophthalmology is great. You know, you go to other countries, you see the world, but remember that community ophthalmology is just as important, working with people in your community to make it like they belong and you belong as, you know, with the community. So thank you again for thinking about me, and have a good dinner, and mahalo. Thank you.
Okay, so this is not an award we'll give out every year, but look around, staff, faculty, there are these huge programs that we started that really thinking about why they happened. So if you have names, feel free to reach out to the education team. I believe that Travis Murray is up now for the recognition for Dr. Fari.
Hi, good evening. So Dr. Daniel Fari has been a steady, trusted mentor in the UW-Madison Cataract Wet Lab for generations of medical and veterinary trainees. Generations. So initially pursuing family medicine, he discovered ophthalmology during electives and was drawn to its precision and technical nature. In his own words, sorry. There's Dr. Fari, the slide anyway, okay? So in his own words, I realized that family doctors didn't know much about eyes, and I discovered that I really liked the field, the tiny instruments, the delicate microscopic surgeries. So after his residency at Indiana University Medical Center, he practiced general ophthalmology in Beaver Dam and Fort Atkinson. His lifelong fascination with tools and engineering shaped his surgical skill and led him to design instruments and extend the life of lab equipment. And here are a few photos from some emails that I've received from Dr. Fari. So the foot pedal to the Leica microscope in the wet lab was stuck on like the lowest power of magnification, I think, and wasn't working well. So Dr. Fari took it upon himself to work on that foot pedal, and he fixed it. And I want to share an excerpt from his email. So this is describing his time in private practice. He said, I did as much repair to all my equipment as I was able to save money. I got this from my father, who was a milling machine operator and self-taught TV and radio repairman. I've built and repaired many electronic and mechanical things in my life, and I'm used to that. I often carefully straighten delicate ophthalmic hand instruments in the cataract wet lab that fall on the floor or whatever to avoid UW purchase of $200 to $300 instruments to replace each of them. So this is Dr. Fari's drawing of the pins to the foot pedal and various things, the frayed wires, and then bottom left is actually his soldering work to fix that pedal. So he joined the department as clinical adjunct faculty in 1985. He blended clinical work with education. He started teaching in the wet lab in 1993, helping to build a program that became central to surgical training. You might notice Patty Saab in that picture on the left there. This program uniquely integrated medical and veterinary ophthalmology trainees, reflecting strong cross-campus collaboration. And in his resident teaching, he emphasized learning by doing, encouraging risk-free exploration without fear of mistakes. He also taught in our Midwest multiphasic phacoemulsification course as a lecturer and wet lab instructor for many years. Generations of residents credit his mentorship with building their confidence and readiness for real surgery. So as he retires at 79, excuse me. Safe to say he's lived a legacy, leaving behind a deeply rooted educational tradition, and will now continue a life of hands-on projects, family time with his wife Jane, and intellectual curiosity. So a final example of his legacy, he made a binder for the wet lab that will help everybody to carry on his legacy. So congratulations, Dr. Fari.
Oh, my goodness, I didn't know what to say. First of all, I want to say congratulations to all the residents and the fellows and the pre-residency fellows. And I want to thank everybody whose names were already mentioned for all the things they've done to make this course successful and very, very important. I've really appreciated the help from everybody. I've enjoyed the fellowship of the residents especially, and also so many of the faculty who've helped me in so many ways over the many years. Also, when I was in private practice, I've been really lucky to fall into this niche of being able to work with residents and train them to help them in helping people to recover or regain vision that they have lost and to improve their vision over the many years. And I've been able to do that without having to do all of the institutional work of bureaucracy that all of you had to put up with. It's been really fun to not have to do that as in my position. So thank you all so much for letting me work with you, the residents and the staff. It's been a great pleasure. I'm going to miss all of you. And I just want to say may God bless and keep all of you and help you in all of your endeavors and your adventures in the future. Thanks so much.
All right, next up, our fellow graduates will now be presented by their fellowship directors, followed by the residents being presented by their faculty mentors. So first up, we're going to have Dr. Sarah Nels come to the stage. Graduates, this is an opportunity as well as you receive your certificates. Please feel free to say a few words. That would be your opportunity.
It is with great pleasure tonight that I get to present the graduation honors certificate to Dr. Patricia Campos for our Cornea Fellowship. Dr. Campos comes to us from Pennsylvania. She did her medical school and ophthalmology residency at the University of Pittsburgh. She actually grew up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Yeah, come on up and join. So we have had an amazing year. Dr. Campos has been an outstanding fellow. She made a lot of landmarks for our future fellows, one of whom is in the room, Dr. Schneider. No, it was an amazing year. She set a lot of records. She performed over 100 partial thickness cornea transplant surgeries. Previous record was 99. She actually did 105. She had a lot of full thickness cornea transplants, including 7 K-Pro or keratoprosthesis surgeries, another landmark. And just yesterday morning, in her last case with me, her last case at UW, she hit her 250th cataract case, which is another resounding record. She's truly a remarkable surgeon. She's going to head out to her practice so well trained, and we're very proud of her. In addition to just excellence in surgery, Tricia has outstanding communication skills. Our staff love her, and my patients, all of our patients love her. She communicates in a very straightforward and honest way, but she injects this enthusiasm that is so amazing, that makes people feel comfortable, excited about the options for their care. It has been just an outstanding year. Moving on to some fun stuff. So Dr. Campos has spent her time in Madison doing some other things. She's an athlete, she's a runner. She competed in the Madison half marathon. And then when she was interviewing for a job position in Pittsburgh, she did the Pittsburgh half marathon, coming in at 1 hour and 42 minutes, which is fast. She also enjoys rock climbing. She made good friends with Dara, one of our retina fellows, and you can see them at the climbing gym, and as well with James, our oculoplastics fellow. And the other photos show her significant other, Michael. So Dr. Campos has a good entourage of family here. She told me yesterday in surgery, she said, I think this is the biggest group that's turning out for any graduation I've had. But she's accompanied by her parents, Daniel and Margaret, and her brother and his family. So they have a lot of ties to Wisconsin. Actually, Margaret just shared with me tonight, she grew up in Wauwatosa, and she did go to the Medical College of Wisconsin for her medical degree and is an anesthesiologist. And Damon, Trisha's brother, is a graduate from UW-Madison in medical physics. That's where he got his PhD. So kind of a homecoming for them. But I think the most important reason, in addition to graduation, was Dr. Campos just got married to Michael yesterday. So they shared their vows in the Capitol. Beautiful location. And James Law sent me some photos last night. I said, please send me photos. So I have these beautiful photos to show the event with family. And I wanted to take a moment, because it was a small wedding, small attendance, to take a moment with our DOVS family to raise a glass, make a toast to blessings to the two of them for their future. So Trisha is moving to private practice in Pittsburgh, joining Sightline Ophthalmic Associates. She's going to have an amazing career in front of her. And we're hoping that all these strong ties to our community here in Madison that we'll stay well in touch. And thank you so much for a beautiful year.
Thank you guys so much. This was such a fun year.
Oh, yes. All right, next up, we get to present Tyler Etheridge, our Retina Fellow. So congratulations, we've appreciated your amazing service to the group. That's why it takes two of us to talk about you here. We're going to miss both you and Natalie greatly. So Tyler grew up in Eau Claire. We have some early photos here of Tyler. I think like the obligatory childhood photos. You'll see him and his sister on the left in Halloween. And you can tell that even at an early age, Tyler was business in the front. And so here's some photos with Tyler and his family, with his father, who's an engineer at a Brewers game. His mother in the upper right, she's an estate planner. On the bottom left, he's with his grandmother at a college graduation. And then the bottom right, we have a photo of the family beef farm, which his family runs on top of their careers. So you can tell a very busy group. Tyler met his wife Natalie while they were both here at UW. He was actually doing urology research at the time, and she was in her pediatric residency. Felix is their dog here. Felix actually has uveitis, an eye inflammation problem for those of you who are not in ophthalmology. And it's actually Tyler who helped make the diagnosis and referral. He noticed that Felix is blinking and tearing a lot. And so he had Felix come into the call room one night, and they used the portable slit lamp to diagnose the inflammation. And then he made the referral to the veterinary ophthalmologist as well. So he and Tyler have he and Natalie have a great love for the outdoors. They had their first date at the dog park. They enjoy running, cycling, and outdoor activities. And actually, Natalie, as an ER physician, has been well equipped for ophthalmology consults. He gave her his Will's Eye Manual book to just make sure that if there were any questions or issues, that she at least had a good reference as well. So he completed his undergraduate education at St. John's College and then was here in Madison for medical school, where, as I mentioned, he almost went into urology, but he shared with me that he did a rotation at University of Michigan where on Friday nights they had all these late night, really challenging cases. And that's when he realized on Friday nights he'd much rather be stuck dealing with eyeballs. So his mentors, Dan Canuck and Barb Lodi, helped guide him to a fellowship at the Reading Center, where he was extremely productive. And then he went on to residency at Utah in ophthalmology. Natalie had already had her fellowship at Utah, so that was a perfect opportunity. And then it's fellowship that brought them back here home to Madison. And so Michael will take it from here.
When we're looking for fellows, all of this is very impressive, and his background and his education, and but what the other things, we also scour the internet and we look for other things that people are good at. And here he is. Okay, watch this. So it was a slam dunk choice for us to rank him number one. I think the thing that impressed us most about Tyler is his humanism. And just the other part that you don't know is like after he finished his undergrad, he spent 3 years doing volunteer work, volunteer teaching in Kenya, Tanzania, and the Bahamas. And I think that's a period that's one of the things he's most proud of. And one of the things that we're so proud of him is not really just because of his tremendous skills. He's really one of the best people that we've ever met and trained and had the pleasure to work with. But it's really that this is the ethos he brings to all of our patients and to his work with faculty and his work with staff. And we really were so lucky to have time with him. And fellowship adventures, he and Natalie are great people to hang out with. Here you can see in one of the fellowship adventure events, they're axe throwing. And this was a time that we were going to a football game with former fellows. So we're trying to kind of keep that network going. And axe throwing is how we train our fellows to become better at their hand-eye coordination. And he's really, really good. So this is his laser and his laser outfit. Patients love it when he walks in like this, stormtrooper style. And we feel that we've taken him from his beginnings as this kid all painted up to this, look at this thoughtful young man. I think you're wearing that suit. But Natalie and Tyler are going to Portland. Portland is lucky to get them. And again, Tyler and Natalie, we feel most fortunate to have had these 2 years with you. And we hope to see a lot of you in the future. Thank you. Tyler, no.
Yeah, I'd first like to say thank you to all the residents. It was a pleasure working with each and every one of you. Also the support staff that made my life much easier, sometimes harder, but sometimes easier. And then also each of my attendings for teaching me the science, but also the art of taking care of patients with retinal diseases. So.
Just a quick, very important announcement as we move on to our resident presentations. There is dessert over there. If people want to quietly take time, I'm looking at you, Colin. Colin's got big eyes over there. But if you can just take turns kind of going over as our residents are presented, that'd be wonderful.
I'm also totally okay if you're not quiet because I'm loud. So go get dessert, people. This is gonna be fun. Okay. Perfect. So I have the distinguished honor of presenting Dr. Jackson Kroger for tonight's resident graduation. And Jack grew up in Oshkosh with 5 brothers, and his mom, Elizabeth, and his dad, John, and 2 of his brothers are here with us tonight celebrating. And Jack was described as a very fun-loving, creative, and inquisitive child who just loved playing outdoors and with his 4 brothers. But fun fact, Jack is actually an identical twin. And rumor has it, Jack and his twin Alex actually switched places in school one day. And that was just for fun. But of course, this fact was not disclosed to his family for many, 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 many years later. But it made me think, was there ever a time in residency that Jack might have pulled this? And the one thing that definitely comes to my mind was during FACO course at the Essen House, there was a night where our quiet, reserved Jack may have become a party animal. And I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure no respectable ophthalmologist can down a boot of beer that fast, except for Dr. Mike Altwheel. And maybe Dr. Gordon Crabtree, because I heard your retina table earlier. I heard you. But no. That was clearly Alex. Another fun fact is Jack's interest in ophthalmology actually began in the 4th grade. So Jack told his parents that he was struggling to see properly at school and he thought he needed glasses. So he went to an ophthalmologist who told his parents, like, hey, the exam and his history, they're just not making sense. And his exam was like kind of normal. So his parents told Jack, like, hey, your exam was, kind of normal. And Jack said, oh, darn, I was just hoping to get glasses so people would know which twin I was. And all I gotta say to that is functional vision loss, Jack? Like, really? Come on. So I am personally going to send you all my neuro-op patients up in Green Bay. They're going right to you because you have personal experience with that specialty now. So let me just get the slide here. Okay, so our obviously rebellious, given his switching history with Alex, and then functionally blind, Jack eventually grew up. He married his beautiful wife, Sarah. They have 2 adorable children, Claire and Henry. And they met when they were in college, and it was in a summer chemistry lab. All the stories are coming together. And Sarah claims that Jack was always better at lab work than she was, that he was methodical, precise, and incredibly meticulous. Of course, great qualities for a microsurgeon. But despite a long day, Jack always, always, always makes time for his family. He is the undisputed king of imaginary play. He's always playing King Triton or Prince Charming or even Kristoff, sometimes all three within the same evening at their house. And he always leads their nightly pre-bedtime dance parties with the same unwavering enthusiasm, despite how many hours or tortured by me that he had to do. But I'm pretty sure if we get enough celebratory drinks in Jack tonight, he may lead that pre-bedtime dance party tonight out at the terrace. So that's my personal mission for tonight, is to see what that entails. And Jack is also a man of many hobbies, and he pursues them all with the same 100% enthusiasm and all-in energy. He's always the happiest when he's outdoors. He's an avid fly fisherman. He's a very talented musician, playing the piano, the French horn, and also the guitar. He's a bird watcher, he's a traveler, and he's also a pet papa to his dog, Wally. He even had backyard chickens during residency, although I'm not quite sure if I believe that story because I never got like fresh eggs, and I'm kind of jealous about that. So I'm not sure if these images are actually AI generated or what, but rumor has it he was a chicken farmer. So Jack also just has a really impressive academic resume. He graduated from the University of Wisconsin at La Crosse, and then he attended UW Medical School here in Madison and was part of the Wisconsin Academy for Rural Medicine. We were lucky enough to, of course, keep him here for residency. But I thought it'd be fun to go back to his SF Match application and read one of his letters from our very own Dr. Dan Canuck. So I'm just going to share with you verbatim some of the things that were said. So he is extremely dependable, and yes, extremely was all capital, easy to work with, a proactive learner, team player, highly intelligent. His combination of humble demeanor, strong work ethic, proactive learning style, maturity, intelligence will carry him far. I would be very happy if he matched here with us. 2 exclamation points. He is universally liked and people will go out of the way to work with him. 2 exclamation points. You will not be disappointed. 3 exclamation points. I can literally feel the enthusiasm and excitement that is with every single additional exclamation point and uppercase letter that is in his letter. But Dan, truthfully, you got it spot on. We are certainly not disappointed with Jack as our resident, and we are definitely very happy that he had matched with us. Okay. So, which gets me to my last slide, just some of the amazing memories that you have created with us, Jack, here while you were with us for these past 4 years as our resident. I asked your current residents and even former residents to share some of their top memories, fun facts, and or top words to describe you. And I'm going to share some of the things that they told me while we're going to look through some photos with you. So some key words that they used were hilarious, obviously, father of both children, Chicken and Wally, dedicated, quippy, jack of all trades, which fun pun there, love that, storyteller, family-oriented, life of the party, Essen House. Some fun facts is if there could be an abbreviation, he would find it, even if there was no reason to abbreviate something, like the word abbreviation could become abbrev, Jack would find an abbreviation. He killed a raccoon once, and he has a recent funny story about being attacked by a bat while in a garage trying to get rid of a dead rabbit, a story that I'm sure will again be shared at the terrace. And he goes on a TWIP every year with his twin, which is a twin trip. That's so sweet. A common top memory was mentioned by your peers was the PGY2 FACO course where you were at the Essen House. But as we already disclosed, that was Alex, clearly not Jack. And then another top memory was Jack actually starting a snowball fight at the U Station parking lot this past winter. And please know, I thoroughly disapprove of that activity unless there is proper eyewear being worn, because I do not want to take care of you hooligans that get eye injuries from a snowball fight. So just throwing that out there. But by far, the number one top memory was Jack impersonating Dr. Miranda in a video that was shown in graduation a couple of years ago. And yes, I have that video clip and we'll be sharing it soon. I think this video just so perfectly summarizes the Jack we all got to know and love over these past 4 years, a very low-key, the funniest person we know. And he's always whispering subtle jokes and making people laugh, and he's just fun to be around. So let's watch this video just for good time's sake. David. David.
So can you see this here? Right here? No? Okay. How about right here? You see this moving around? No? How about this? Did you see this? No? Moving around? Okay. So like Miss Rachel might say, uh-oh, you've had a CRAO. Means you've had a small stroke in your eye. Then the good news is that you're my best patient of the day. You have a super attitude. For that, do you want stickers or sucker? You only get one. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I could watch that. I know, right? I mean, come on. I mean, we're talking like Academy Award level acting here. Like I could watch that every day of my life and still laugh every single time. I love that. So lastly, just you wrote in your SF Match application that your goal was to become, and I quote, to serve as an integral leader in the community, which I practice through clinical work, continued research, and public health projects addressing addressing vision care needs. Specifically, my object will be to expand access to underserved rural populations. And you are truly about to go and fulfill that goal. And don't lose sight of that goal, and don't lose sight what is really important in your career and in your life. Keep the world laughing wherever your future takes you, and just congratulations again. We're so incredibly proud of you and all that you have accomplished. So with that, congratulations. Come on up here.
All right. Thank you for all those kind words, Dr. Larson. Thank you for outing me as a functional vision loss patient. Please don't send them to me. So it really takes a unique person to be an academic physician. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank each and every faculty member in the room. I mean, you meet strangers, well-vetted strangers, every year, and you trust them with doing microsurgery. We're talking millimeters and hopefully not microns. What you do every day, I hope you didn't sigh too much before we scrubbed together, but you really have just transformed. You know, it's just such a great experience. And what you do year in and year out as just part of your job is truly an entire job on top of what most physicians do. So I just want to recognize you guys and give you a round of applause. So I wouldn't be here without my parents, and I'd like to thank them. Their love and support over the years. You know, my dad's a doctor, and just being very neutral about what I did when I grew up, when I was a big kid, but always loving and supporting me. And through trials, tribulations, those college moments, through medical school and residency. Thank you guys. I love you. So two of my brothers are here, which is a good PR move for the lawyers. They're the two lawyers of the family. They can be good too. I am not Alex. I am not my twin right now giving this speech, although I kind of wish. Really, thank you guys for your support, and I really appreciate you. To Dr. Larson and Dr. Knock, I mean, thank you for those kind words. And, you know, you meet some really cool people who are just masters of their craft. When you're an impressionable medical student, you think, maybe I should do that. And I would definitely not be here without both of you. And, you know, being able to meet you during medical school and work with you, and those kind words obviously probably helps, the exclamation marks, are very appreciated. And I just wanted to thank you both personally. And then finally, my wife, Sarah, the most important person in the room here for me. She is the mother of two beautiful but very trying children. And during call, she is the mother of 3 children because, I mean, you saw me on the couch there. I would not be here without you. I wouldn't have been in medical school without you. You are my rock, and I love you so much. Thank you, everyone.
All right, good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Kim Stepien for trading call with me so I could be here tonight. Thanks, Kim. Yes. And super call, so it's particularly brutal. So I'm going to thank you again. I have the pleasure of honoring Dr. Rushi Mankat tonight, and I tried to keep within the 5-slide minimum, Dr. Larson. So here we go. I'm going to tell a story or try to tell a story. On the left, bottom picture here, I just was speaking with his father, and he told me that he didn't impress him to be a physician. But I'm looking at this picture. He's got a tie, a watch, a belt, a pager. So either Rushi was very adventuresome and thinking ahead of time, or maybe you were covering call for your dad. The next picture shows a very wide-eyed, I can just think of an owl. It's perfect for an ophthalmologist. Big eyes, hyperopic correction, very, very engaging. And then this next picture, I assume this is elementary school, very astute. Most of the kids are already gone. You're still there working, And look how proud he is in the upper right there. He's got his tie again, his hat, his feet are together. Laces are impeccable. Really quite the student. And then Rushi he's an athlete. He enjoys sports. And so as a child, he must have enjoyed baseball. We didn't really have too much conversation about that. I know you're a big basketball fan, LeBron James fan. But here, the thing I like most about that picture is he has a bat and a glove in his hand. So he is ready at any time. Whether defense or offense, put me in the field. I'm going to bat. He is ready, and I really like that. This last picture just shows me a child of, confidence and just determined. And it's a great picture. Or maybe you're looking to go play golf. So here's time to focus. Rushi has done fantastic work. We all know that. So. First of all, on the left is some of his more stellar accomplishments. So Hobbs High School, he was valedictorian, Hobbs in New Mexico. That's where he grew up. Attended the University of New Mexico, biochemistry major, and summa cum laude. Excellent work again. Then attended the University of New Mexico medical school and received the AOA and Gold Humanism Awards. And then he came to us. And I think for a while he was doing the same things. He was Best Word Presentation 2025 and Chief Resident. But on the right, he seemed to develop some different habits while he was here at Wisconsin. So my assumption here is the bottom right photo is that he was studying so hard that his brain was overheating and he needed some coolant. So what better coolant than a stein of beer? Perhaps a boot, I can't tell based on the orientation. The picture on the bottom left, now this is more speculative, but I assume most people have heard of the great pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Well, that's a pumpkin that gets presented to the most sincere child. And in this case, this is the great ophthalmic pumpkin, specifically the ophthalmic pumpkin of knowledge. And it presents itself to the most sincere resident. And here Rushi is befuddled or surprised that he received it. But this pumpkin harbors a tremendous knowledge. And the knowledge was so intense that he succumbed to it. And at least that's what I understand. You may think something else, but unfortunately, when in his state, it was taken away from him. So Rushi, hopefully you got some knowledge at the time. It was short-lived. So while he was here at the Department of Ophthalmology and Visual Science, Rushi really did fantastic work. And similar to what Dr. Larson sought out was what better way to define someone or to understand an individual than to talk to your peers, to your colleagues. And that's what I did. And so I solicited a few remarks and then put them up here. But as you see, the heart and soul of the program, caring and encouraging, created a family atmosphere, selfless, flexible leader, which we of course saw as chief resident, capable of connecting with people, enjoys competition, and a fantastic sportsman. So the top photo is taken after one of the FACO courses one year. And you just see a very happy group of people. And Rushi's got a big smile on his face. And I'm sure he's very proud of the efforts that everyone went through to make this happen. The bottom two are where I want to focus more on the fantastic sportsmanship. So the bottom left happened, that was at Nielsen one morning when Lucas and Rushi wanted to play myself and a buddy in tennis. And they tried. And don't feel bad. There are a few other residents, Brady, Jeremy, Jacob, never succeeded either. But the picture on the right, Mike Altiwill, who we've already met, Rushi and Lucas came to us and wanted to challenge us in a match of pickleball. Now, that tennis is my game. Mike plays a little bit of pickleball, but I think, Rushi and Lucas were pretty confident. So one really nice morning, we got together and played, and they said, well, how about, 2 out of 3? And after those first games went down, Rushi went over to Lucas and said, we need to go 3 out of 5. And unfortunately, once we hit 5, it was the same result. So they asked if we could go best out of 7, and Mike and I looked at each other and said, sure. And it was basically rinse and repeat. So Rushi, but the thing that's really important here is the smiles on this. This was taken after the competition, and the fact it was just doing something fun, enjoyable. Mike and I definitely cared if we won because we don't have that many left in us. But regardless, I thought about it and I said, Rushi, because of that effort, because of your work and love of competition, I am going to place you in a very exclusive club. And you are the only resident that has ever been placed into this club. And I took the time to create something. So, if everybody can see this, this is the Department of Ophthalmology Visual Science Pickleball Club. And and you just doubled the club membership. I was the first one. You're number 2. All right. So this decision time. Wow. Now let me tell you, this brought me back to when I was Rushi's age. This was tough. I was talking with his father about this, and this was no easy task. We talked many times, Rushi and I. We sought much counsel. And up here, I kind of listed a few. So he went to the retina service and talked with the retina group, and he thought, well, this could be me, possibly. But unfortunately, Rushi's retina remained detached, so it wasn't right for him. The glaucoma service, he dabbled, possibly, thinking, well, maybe this could be my field. Unfortunately, Rushi's visual field remained black, Dr. Momont. So, and then cornea, Eric and et al. We were thinking about that, and he thought maybe this could be mine too. But again, the cornea remained swollen. And finally, he came back to comprehensive ophthalmology. And, I think he was warming up, but still wasn't quite clear. So in spite of all that discussion, all those times we spoke, we still weren't sure. So I went to the definitive source, to allow us to determine your field. On the right, I believe most people in this room would probably recognize the hat that he's wearing. That hat, Dr. Larson, maybe you're not seeing that before, but that is the sorting hat from the famous movie series Harry Potter. And what everyone knows that if you saw the series, that hat was instrumental in the success of Harry Potter becoming the greatest wizard of all time. Well, what most people don't know is that hat also has powers with respect to ophthalmology residents. And it has the ability to help guide a resident into the appropriate house of ophthalmology. So one night, Rushi and I got together and we placed the sorting hat on his head. And it went a little bit like this.
This one is special. This one could be anything. A retina specialist, yes, would be a great Slytherin. A glaucoma specialist, he would fit in well in Hufflepuff. Perhaps the world of cornea and external disease. I suspect he would be a fine Ravenclaw. I know it. It has to be. Gryffindor. Comprehensive ophthalmology.
All right. And there we go. Who says an older guy can't use a little AI at times? Huh? So, the future is bright. He has his family, his fiance's family are right here up in front. And there are a couple of beautiful photos of the family. Unfortunately, his brother could not be here tonight. He's starting his residency in radiation oncology at the University of Oklahoma. So we miss him. We'll wish him well. In the upper right, there's Rushi with his fiancee Urvi, sporting her ring, a little bling there. They are currently planning their wedding next year. And then what I'm most proud of is, as Dr. Moment had talked, these are our kids, and Rushi has landed or secured a great job at the Houston Eye Associates, which is one of the premier groups in the Houston area. And even more importantly, Urvi's family lives in the area, and perhaps maybe your parents, in the near future, who knows? So Rushi, it's hard to believe that these 4 years have gone so fast, but we're here at graduation. I'm just very happy to have been part of your journey. And more importantly, thank you for the memories. That's fun. Yeah. This is here. It's your size. I think it's a size too.
Oh, right here? Oh, okay. Photo or?
All right.
Okay. I'll see.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dr. Temprano. I don't know how to follow that, but I just want to thank all my faculty members in the audience today. To trust us residents with the care of your patients takes a lot, and so thank you for entrusting us with that. I want to thank my senior residents who couldn't be here today, but I thanked each and every one of them for being excellent role models for me and my juniors. And to the juniors, I wish I could be a fraction of the role model that they were to me, but thank you all for being my family away from home. Jack and Kevin, the boys, thanks for the memories, guys. It's been a wonderful ride. Also want to thank my family came from a long ways away to support me today. My fiance's parents from Houston, my fiance's sister and her soon-to-be brother-in-law from Seattle. Thank you all for coming, your love and support, and my parents from New Mexico. My parents, like many of us have immigrant parents, they taught me the value of education, hard work, and faith, and where you can get with those values. And so hope me and my brother made you proud. Missing my brother today. He's in Oklahoma starting residency, and don't miss residency orientation at all. So good luck to him. And I gained a lot of knowledge and friendships over the past 4 years. It's something that I can't start to think about, otherwise I'll start crying too much. But the best thing that I gained these past 4 years has been my fiance, Ruby. Everyone here. I think everyone here in this room knows about our long distance dating. I've talked about it too much, but thank you for joining me along this ride. I finally have something to do all this for. So thank you. Thanks, everyone. Texas is a long ways away, but I hope we keep in touch. And thanks for all the memories. Appreciate it.
All right. Kev. So I first met Kevin during his first weekend of primary call as a PGY2. We saw a young child who presented with retinoblastoma. He went above and beyond coordinating urgent weekend imaging, consulting multiple teams, organizing exam under anesthesia with radiology, and managing all his other call responsibilities. So clear from day one, he was going to be an excellent resident. So as we got to know each other, we discovered we had a lot of things in common. I'll highlight those throughout tonight. And full disclosure, I had a lot of help from Lexi on this presentation, so thanks. All right, so Kevin was born in a small town in West Union, Iowa. Commonality number one, I was also born in a small Iowa town called Pella. So Kevin grew up with plenty of independence, as you can probably tell from these photos. Drinking Mountain Dew at an exceptionally young age, playing with guns and grenades along with his brother Keith. But Kevin's work ethic has always stood out. And it began before residency in medicine. So he started working in apiary at age 13, okay, beekeeper. Spent summers roofing houses, worked as a tutor counselor, and later paid for college by cleaning and painting water towers, all right? So this is Kevin on a water tower. And this is not the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. This is just Kevin at the end of a long day of painting. All right, another commonality, and then this is Kevin, actually, this is a water tower here in Madison. He's doing an outrigger on the top of a water tower, and that happened to be here in Madison in 2010. And he happened to paint this water tower in my hometown of Pella, and I'm heard that he did some of the stenciling on there as well, so another commonality. Some additional chapters before residency. So in middle school and high school, Kevin seemed to do everything. He wrestled, played football, cross country, track, choir, show choir, and drama. Kevin and Lexi started dating after performing in Les Mis together. This is possibly their first photo together in 2007, followed by prom in 2009, and performing together in swing choir. So they both attended Wartburg College. Mascot the Knight looks vaguely similar to Kevin after painting the Silver Water Tower. He wrestled there, sang in the Wartburg Choir, earned degrees in biology and science education. After graduation, Kevin and Lexi married in 2013. A couple wedding photos, a beautiful couple, and honeymooned in Hawaii. Some black sand there. Then they both began teaching in Des Moines. Commonality number three, we actually lived in the exact same apartment complex, different times, exact same building, which you'll see here. I just happened to be in Des Moines in May and had to get those pictures, Kev. So this is on Ingersoll Avenue in Des Moines. We both lived in that same building, interestingly enough. Kevin earned his master's in teaching from University of Northern Iowa, quickly became award-winning educator, named biology teacher of the year. But medicine had been calling. Eventually attended University of Michigan. Here's a little Michigan gear, go blue. Another commonality, I trained at Michigan. Here's graduation, their first child, Elliot, born there. His father and grandmother at graduation. While in Ann Arbor, Kevin continued pursuing music, playing the electric guitar in various bands and at church. And then there's this classic photo of Kevin here. Legendary photo here shows Kevin rocking the bass. So show of hands, who thinks this hair is real? Any hands? We got a few. All right. It's a wig. But thanks to this photo hanging at the lounge at the VA, many people do think Kevin had a long-haired rock band phase. Go Kev. So Kevin and Lexi have continued sharing their musical talents, performing at countless weddings for family and friends, and now passing the love of music on to their children. And so returning to Wisconsin has been wonderful for their family, a lot closer to their family. They're especially excited that Kevin will be staying for Cornea Fellowship next year, as the whole DOVS family is. So it's been a privilege to watch these guys from orientation to maybe some call to a couple graduation celebrations. Thankfully, they had a little time to throw in some fun. Hearing about their trip to India, and then seeing them at their advanced anterior segment skill lab at the end of the year. So earlier I mentioned drive in addition to independence. So this book talks about three factors relating to lasting motivation: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Difficult qualities to teach, but Kevin, he naturally embodies all three. Ophthalmology is a perfect fit for someone with his curiosity, work ethic, and commitment to serving others. He always keep that drive. And then, of course, we got to give shout out to the family here. We've got Lexi and their children, Elliot and Sylvie, sort of Schuster's Farm, trick-or-treating, Christmas, Father's Day. Check out the Demi-Dad shirt, solid Moana. And I'm told that his children already love to be doctors and want to help fix eyes like Kevin. To that I say, enjoy this stage while your children think you're the coolest person in the world. Because mine tell everyone I'm not a real doctor at school. All right, so congratulations, Kev. Whoops, how did that get in there? Go blue. All right, so you're the kind of physician who elevates every team, every room you enter. Congratulations.
I made a little note here. I don't want to go too long, just long enough. So first, Dr. Rummery, just thank you for everything over the last few years, deciding to do Cornea Fellowship. Our conversations about that decision really went deep, and you've been so impactful in a lot of ways. And I really feel like as time goes on, you need to pay attention to what the universe is telling you. And I mean, how crazy was it? The first time I was on call, that we just start having these conversations in the midst of just the busiest time. And there was a freakish amount of things we had in common. So this is amazing. And so to follow in your footsteps and do a cornea fellowship here is just so cool. I'm very, very thankful for that. And I just want to extend that gratitude to all the people in this room, to the faculty members, of course. It's been said over and over by all of us that it takes a lot of guts to entrust, young surgeons with your patients, and that you literally watch us put blades into eyes for the first time. And you walk us through that. And you walk your patients through that. And that's a big deal. That takes a lot of courage and guts and attentive direction and teaching. You're just wonderful people. And I would also extend that to our faculty, support staff, and educational leadership in this room. You're the silent workers behind the scenes that make everything possible for us as we come up through the program. And you are the nuts and bolts that make this happen. So thank you very much. And then, of course, to the family members in the room. When you support somebody going through such a long, arduous process to become a physician, it takes a lot of energy and a lot of moments where things are tough, and you just stick it out with the people you love. So all the family members in this room, that's just amazing. And I think about my family. Grandma, Dick, Dad, my stepdad, my mom, Penny, my in-laws, Vince and Steph. I mean, you guys have been there since 2007, Vince and Steph, when Lex and I started dating. That's crazy. You're like second parents to me, and Mom, Dad, and Grandma and Dick and Dad. I mean, raising me was probably like raising a wild horse. So thank you for just being there the whole time along the way. And to Lexi, I mean, you're the best person in my life. You always have been. I was trying to think about what I would even say to describe our relationship, and maybe we have some Lord of the Rings fans in here, but if I'm Frodo, she's Sam. She carried me up the mountain. I mean, she is the best friend imaginable. And how I got so lucky to have you is unreal. But here I am. Here we are. And we've built a beautiful family. And I'll say it time and time again that these are the best days of our life. Being right here in Madison with our little kids. Doesn't matter how busy I am, how busy we are. It's awesome. So thank you, Lex, for everything. And I just want to say that I have one more year here to try to extend my thanks to all of this, and really make this next year just awesome before I go out and do my own thing. And I'll just keep it going. And finally, I just want to say thanks to my Opthro brothers, Rushi and Jack. We've built a bond here that will connect us forever. And the AAO conference doesn't know what it's going to hit them for the next 30 years. Thank you.
Don't look. Okay, so now we want to recognize the residents who demonstrate an exceptional commitment to academic global ophthalmology. So since 2020, our department has offered a unique global ophthalmology curriculum integrated into residency training. At its core, this program really aims to support residents' professional and personal growth as global citizen ophthalmologists and begin forging new pathways to address and grapple with the emerging issues in vision global health. So residents can pursue a certificate of distinction, and what this requires is 100 points, which is actually 3 asynchronous modules of 10 hours each. So do the math, that's 30 hours. That's a lot. That's good, you didn't escape yet. Perfect. And I'm pleased to acknowledge 2 residents on behalf of our global ophthalmology initiatives who have gone above and beyond, committing additional personal and professional time to actively advance their knowledge and skills in this global vision health. So, surprise. Kevin Schneider, congratulations. Throughout his training, Kevin has been an engaged and thoughtful participant in our global learning community, consistently bringing curiosity. You can see that from his speech. Curiosity, compassion, and really a broad perspective. You can tell that you've done a lot of stuff. I'm sure your Rock Band days really brought it all together for your global ophthalmology training. So perfect. We look forward to Kevin's ongoing involvement with our program during his fellowship. As you heard, he's staying with us, which we love. And then we're confident that he'll still continue to advance vision health, strengthen eye care delivery, and improve patient outcomes both locally and globally. So if you wouldn't mind coming up, we'll get you your certificate. I'm pretty sure we got your certificate. Okay, and also congratulations to Rushi. So during his training, Rushi served as the resident representative on the Global Ophthalmology Initiatives Committee, so thank you for that. And he also did global field work in both the Philippines and India, which we really appreciate. And he was really supportive and welcoming of our numerous visiting global learners and faculty, and mentored medical students pursuing interest in projects in global ophthalmology. So we really look forward to his continued involvement as an alumnus and are confident that he will continue to advance vision health, improve accessible patient care, and foster meaningful collaboration in Texas and far beyond the borders. So thank you, Rushi, coming up. I cheated, Kevin. You get a gift? Kevin, I cheated you out of this. Okay, and now Jonathan Chang, our Associate Program Director, will present the Cookie Award.
All right, the Cookie Award. So as the Associate Program Director, it's my privilege to announce this year's Cookie Award winner. You know, this will be the most delicious award that is given out tonight. So everyone always asks, why is this called the Cookie Award? This has been a big topic of debate the last few weeks. Everyone's been asking, why are we doing this cookie thing? And so the reason is that this award is there to show, it's for a resident who shows extra commitment, someone who goes out of their way, they show kindness, inspiration, and they love education. And Dr. T told me is also very sweet. So maybe it's the Cookies Award. You can see what I did there. So you can ask Dr. T for the full story about the Cookie Award. So this year's winner has been hailed by their peers as someone who has consistently tried to find ways to teach their peers. This person has brought a lot of surgical cases to our Monday conferences, which is a nice touch to kind of shake up our teaching and education. This person provides a lot of different resources for their peers, and education has really organized a lot of different kind of spreadsheets and documents, and also has really tried to improve a lot of processes in the residency. This person is the resident Epic super user and has created a lot of smart sets and kind of tasks to make life easier while on call as well. One of the peers, one of this person's peers, actually, I was looking through the evaluation, said that sometimes calling this resident is actually more useful than calling the faculty on call. So it's a good thing that we are keeping him hostage, on board another year as our cornea fellow. So this is congratulations, Kevin Schneider, for this year's cookie. And then next up is the third year residents will be making a presentation for the graduates.
Okay. Um, Thank you all so much for giving us the time to say a few words about this amazing class. So Rushi, Jack, and Kevin have been outstanding seniors who have done so much to build this residency into a real family. This class did what three was residents, what the rest of us struggled to do with four. Two of them raised multiple kids while juggling call responsibilities. And thank goodness Rushi didn't, because he was responsible for raising the rest of us as chief. Yes. Within this program, they've really cultivated a culture of true support. When I've been on backup call, which is senior call, and still needed a senior, I've been able to call all of them at help at times. When I ran into issues with the call space laser, one resident, and I will not say who, answered my FaceTime while he was going to the bathroom. So they're very dedicated. Although I have tried to convince our education team that none of you have met graduation requirements and you can't leave us, I've been following your footsteps long enough to know that you're all skilled surgeons, insightful clinicians, and all around wonderful humans who will do amazing things with this next career step. We love you, we will miss you, and please keep your ringers on, because I'm pretty sure we're never going to stop needing to call our seniors. I'll hand it over to Aziza, who has some things to say specifically about Jack.
Thank you. We've had the amazing honor to work with Jack. Jack, you made residency so much more enjoyable. They say residency is all about learning, and while we definitely learned a lot from you clinically, I think one of the greatest talents that you have was making the busiest of call nights the most fun. No matter how chaotic things got, you always find a way to make us laugh, keep things in perspective, and remind us that we'd survive the night, no matter how chaotic it got. And of course, no shift was complete without you pointing out a very interesting or hilarious patient name. It was the most enjoyable part working with you, and now it's become the highlight of all of our call nights. What I'll remember most isn't just how knowledgeable you are, but it was the kind of senior you chose to be. You were patient, approachable, and always willing to help. You created the kind of environment that made us all a lot more confident on call, especially during those buddy call days. You always say you lucked out by marrying Sarah and what an amazing partner she is. He talks about you all the time, Sarah. But I think we're the lucky ones. We lucked out having you as our senior, someone who taught us, supported us, and someone who made call with you as backup, something that we look forward to. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. We're going to miss you, but we couldn't be happier for you, and Green Bay now is lucky to have you. Congratulations, Jack.
I get the privilege of honoring Dr. Rushi Munkad. Of course, I could go on and on about his skills as an ophthalmologist, but I think I'd rather spend the time talking about one of his greatest qualities, which is that of his ability to connect with people. And I think we've all had that experience. I would just like to share my experience, which actually started, and I don't know that he knows this, back when I interviewed here. He was in one of the breakout rooms. And was a good reason why I thought this was a great place to come. And then here I've been. He's kind of developed into an older brother in a sense for me. Has answered my questions countless times. He's gone as far as to recommend me staying at the same location. So I lived at the lodge. Many of you may know that for a long time we shared balconies. So my balcony looked at his balcony. And he probably regretted that later when we were waiting on him, and I was like, well, I know he's home and changing, because I just saw him on his balcony. So probably regretted that later. One of the greatest things that he did teach me, though, was he was my first time that I ever went to Taco Bell. Rushi led me there and taught me the greatness of Taco Bell. So the downside to Rushi's ability to connect with people is that it does make these moments a lot more bittersweet. It's going to be hard. I'm proud of you. You've been amazing. It's going to be tough to see gone. So thank you.
And I get the pleasure to say a few words of thanks to Kevin. I wanted to share just a few brief stories. Kevin and I, we used to spend a decent amount of time running at the bike path back behind the lodge, and it was a good time in the morning, get the blood pumping, get going ready for clinic. And one day he was like, "Oh yeah, let's go run at the park by my house or by my apartment." And so we went. I was like, "Oh, that sounds nice, like nice green grass and the like delightful birds chirping and things." No, that's not what this run in the park was. This run in the park, it was Quarry Park, which I don't know if anyone knows. It's right across from University Station. It's actually a mountain biking park. And so that you can imagine there's ramps, there's like little areas where you're like walking on like little beams, there's roots, there's tree branches. And so I'm trying to keep up with Kevin and he's running way ahead. He's turning the corner. I'm getting hit in the head with a tree branch and just don't know where he is. But I finally catch up with him again. And you probably saw the look on my face of just pure exasperation. I'm out of breath. I'm huffing and puffing. I didn't even ask him, but he could read it on my face. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I like to run there because it helps with strengthening my ankles and my knees. It's good for my balance and things." So this is the kind of person that Kevin is. He's someone who intentionally does challenging things in order to make himself a better person, not just better person, better doctor, better teacher, all around for everyone around him. And it's not just with exercise, with running either. This applies to everything he does in the clinic, with teaching us as residents and his learning too. I've caught him a couple times with a phakodynamics textbook. That's an entire textbook just on phakodynamics, and not all of cataract surgery. He does Q-bank questions between his patients. He watches cataract surgery videos from around the world, just to pick up that extra tip, that extra thing that's going to make him as good as possible. It translates to not just to him learning and how he teaches himself things, but how he teaches the rest of us too as residents. He taught me to see the bump of my depressor for the first time. We were there in the clinic in call at the very beginning. And, I thought, that's okay. I can get it next time. He's like, "Nope, tonight you're seeing the depressor. We're doing it." And made it happen. It was awesome. Every time, or not every time, but at least most of the time after doing a cataract surgery at the VA, Kevin would touch base with me and say, "Hey, how'd that case go? Like, give me some pointers on some little tips here and there with the cases." And we still love talking about cases together, how we can both learn together. Awesome Monday morning conference cases. We've all benefited from as residents. And then finally too, when I was trying to learn how to tie a tarsorrhaphy knot, he was like, "Oh, I heard of this really awesome technique you can use for tarsorrhaphy knots. And you can tie it in a way where it's, not just as a knot, but you can actually untie it and then check the patient's eye." And instead of teaching me or telling me over the phone how to do it, he actually sent me a video of him tying the knot on his shoelaces, to actually show me how to do this knot. That just shows you what kind of an incredible teacher he is. We've all benefited, not just from your teaching abilities, Kevin, but from just your work ethic, the way that you challenge yourself, the way that you don't just take the straight path, but you take the challenging one, the one with branches, the one with roots, to really elevate not just yourself, but all of us here at this residency. So thank you so much for everything you've put into this and just all of us in our development here. Yeah, big thank you from the residents. Thank you. We'd like to invite them to come up to accept their gifts from us, from all the rest of the residents. And we know, yeah, we'll let you. They're going to open up here. Do you want to open them right now? Yeah, you should, open them. We know you guys are moving on to bigger and better things. Yeah, we're going to give you the boot. Get on out of here.
Should I say that we ran out of time and we can't do the video? Or should I press advance, Kevin? Do you need to introduce this in any way? I believe Dr. Schneider was in charge of the video this year, which we will play now. A gift from our PGY Forest to all of us.
Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you. If you want to start up your video, we can just confirm it's all working. Yeah, looks good. Okay, well, y'all look ready, so let's just have a quick break before grand rounds get started at 7. Another morning grand rounds. Another Schroff's presentation at the request of the PGY Force. Will the faculty even attend? What do they usually do during grand rounds anyway?
Hey Barb, you want to take out Ziggy with me?
Yeah, let's do it. You don't think anyone will notice?
What are they gonna do? Fire us?
Who asks questions if we're done?
That's not a crane.
Hi, team.
Hey, Dr. Schmidt. Must be out for a casual 20-mile run.
And logged in here. Full screen. Dual monitor. There you go. Perfect.
It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. Feel good. No, don't stop. Oh. Gonna stop me now.
Another India presentation. I guess I'll just do my ergonomics exercises. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Hello, Animal Month. Oh, hi, yes. Thank you so much for taking the time to apply. We're so excited to welcome you to the faculty. Oh, you took another position? Oh, well, how much does it pay? They said you'll be done with clinic at 5. Are they hiring?
You're on.
Mike, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? How's your ground rounds going? Well, I had a very busy morning. I worked out at Metabolic, some gains. Then I attended to my bees. Mrs. Buzzy's needing a little bit of attention this morning. And then I had a long walk with Kona. Oh, Kona, yeah. And last but not least, I made my famous nut-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, GMO-free, triple-layered raspberry cake with the raspberry that I myself planted and harvested from Middleton.
Let's go. It's 10% luck, 6 skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the day.
These residents make me repeat myself. We do the same thing when we review an MRI, DWI, ADC.
I gotta get some snacks for the residents. And some lutein for myself. Maybe just a little more. You can never have too much.
Jail. It's my jail. Everybody into that day deal. I don't understand. Make me throw my hands in the air, air. My dreams.
What an interesting grand rounds. Do you have any insight?
One second. Well, just the hole in one. You guys need to ask me more questions.
It's been a great 4 years.
So many memories with so many awesome people.
We're gonna miss you all dearly.
And no, for better or for worse, you're just a text message or a phone call away.
Especially our uveitis service. That means you, Dr. Copley.
And our neuro-ophthalmology hotline, Dr. Chen. But in all seriousness, it's been a remarkable ride.
We'll miss you all and thank you for all your time and care and attention.
Thank you so much for everything.
Couldn't have asked for anything better. Thank you all.
Perfect timing, because next I'm going to welcome the illustrious Dr. Andrew Thaliveris to the stage. Dr. Thaliveris is our immediate past program director and retired just as these graduates started in our clinics. I don't think it was you guys personally, though. In addition, he is a proud graduate of the UW Residency and serves on our alumni board. It seems most fitting that Dr. T is here to welcome you.
Thank you, Anna. What an honor to be here tonight with the family, with our village. As Anna said, I'm the previous program director. You can see evidence of that with all the gray hair, and a proud member of the board of the UW Alumni Association. Tonight we celebrate some 5 remarkable physicians: Dr. Rushi, Dr. Kevin, Dr. Jack, Dr. Patricia, and Dr. Tyler. Congratulations on meeting this incredible milestone. So one thing I wanted to share, and do I see Dr. Gam in the audience? I don't see Dr. Gam in the audience, which is good. Maybe he'll love me after this talk, but when I started as program director, I asked one question. What fascinated me was, what is it that draws all of us to an institution? And can we recreate this? Of course, the sine qua non of this phenomena is Dr. Gam. Anybody that knows Dr. Gam, early on, I discovered that his wife locks him in the basement when he watches a Michigan game. The dude is crazy, and he is all about Michigan sports. So I reasoned there would be two things. The first thing was love, acceptance, commitment of all of the faculty, as well as I realized that the residents needed to give something back. And all of these individuals have dedicated years of hard work, sacrifice, perseverance to arrive at this moment. Along the way, you've mastered incredible surgical skills, navigated incredible, challenging clinical decisions, comforted many anxious patients, as well as many anxious faculty along the way, and developed judgment that transforms knowledge into exceptional care. So I would like all the graduates to come up and just line up here along the front. Doctors Jack, Rushi, Kevin, Patricia, and Tyler, just face the group. This is what happened to my speech in the last 15 minutes. So I would like all the mentors of these individuals to please stand. Faculty, fellows, residents, all stand up. We're going to stand up. Okay. All the supporting staff, please stand up. Our low vision persons, stand up. All the education staff, stand up, and all the family of these individuals, please stand up. Graduates, these are the individuals who guided you, who challenged you, who supported you, and most importantly, who love you. They all help shape your career. Big round of applause for everybody. Everybody can be seated. So my one message tonight that I'd like to pass on to our graduates and our faculty, and quite frankly, anybody else in the room, is leave a legacy. Leave a legacy. We've had two great examples tonight. Dr. Hugo Higa, who started the free or community clinic, did this on his own, as we've heard. And Hugo, I'd like to personally thank you for taking you under my wing when I was a first year to help guide and shape me, for who I am today. Hugo, I love you. Thank you for everything. And then, of course, there's Dr. Fari, who, as long as I can remember, has been part of our FACO course. We've already said it all about Dr. Fari, but I will say that I do apologize for all the potato chip bags that I have massacred over the years, because Dr. Fari used potato chip bags to try to teach residents how to do capsulorhexis. So it's written here, we hope you stay engaged, graduates. That is now crossed out for it never to be said again. And Rushi, there will be no more quote, I hope we keep in touch. No. You will stay in touch. You will return to teach. You will be mentors of our future learners. You will attend alumni events. And you will continue to help shape the future of our department. You are the strength of our program. Doctors Rushi, Jack, Kevin, Patricia, and Tyler. We're all incredibly proud of you. You have a responsibility to pass on to those who come next. You not only leave here as graduates, you leave here now as our colleagues. On behalf of the UW Alumni Association, welcome to the family.
And there they are. Dr. Terry Young is traveling internationally and was unable to be here this evening. She has pre-recorded a video that we'll watch.
To the University of Wisconsin Department of Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences residents and fellows, class of 2026, I would like to offer my sincere congratulations. I am so sorry I'm unable to be with you in person tonight, but I wanted to express what an honor and privilege it has been to be part of your formal training over these past years. I am so very proud of all of you and grateful for the hard work and dedication you have exhibited to serve our patients, to involve yourselves deeply in your educational experience, and also to take care of each other. My sincere congratulations go out to our 3 ophthalmology residents, Drs. Rishi Mankan, Jackson Korger, and Kevin Schneider. To our 2 clinical fellows, Drs. Patricia Campos and Tyler Etheridge, and to our 2 ocular pathology Wisconsin Reading Center fellows, Drs. Jacob Bogost and Shelby Storm. I am confident your patients will remember not only the care you provided, but the compassion and respect with which you provided it. You all have sacrificed so much to be where you are today, but you didn't do it alone. Many others, including your family members, your champions, and your institutions have invested and contributed to your success. I join you in recognizing and acknowledging those who are here with you today, your family members and partners, your faculty mentors, and of course, each other. I'd like to take a quick moment too to thank all of those who worked hard to make tonight's event happen. I'm grateful to the members of the A-List education team, Tatiana Schneider, Hannah Baker, Maggie Schrader, David Pilock, Jess Benton, and Jen LaRosa. Thank you also to the members of the marketing team who organized the logistics of tonight's event. Shelby Smith, Stacy Christensen, Amy Pikalik, Carol Barsamian, and Ray Sinarigi. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to acknowledge our special guests, Dr. Hugo Higa, whose deep commitment to service led to the creation of the Free Eye Clinic, now celebrating its 30th year, and Dr. Daniel Ferry, who served as a steady mentor and guiding presence in the wet lab for more than 3 decades. Both of these individuals remind us that the true impact of a career is measured not only by one's personal achievement, but by the opportunities we create for others, the communities we serve, and the people we help shape along the way. My hope for our graduates tonight is that you find inspiration in their legacies, and that in your own way, you will go on to build legacies of your own that are inspirational to others. Congratulations, class of 2026.
We have arrived at closing remarks. I think we will have only a little bit of time to do photos after this, but if you and your families do want to take a photo, I think our photographer is still here for a little bit. We do have to be out of the building by 9 o'clock. But I want to take a couple moments just to thank you all for joining us this evening to celebrate our amazing graduates. A special thanks to Shelby Smith and our marketing team, Amy, Stacy, and Carol, for all of their hard work, for giving us the party that we deserve. And to our education team to making sure I didn't make or mess up my part. I'm going to steal this last part from Dr. T, who told me about an impactful quote he once saw. Be the doctor you said you would be on your medical school application, but I'm switching it to the residency application because that's what I have access to. So Dr. Larson stole my thunder a little bit, but we're going to go through very quickly our residents and fellows. I envision myself with a bustling cornea practice, mentoring medical students and residents and participating in clinical research. Dr. Campos. I will become an outstanding vitreoretinal surgeon and leader in the field. I intend to provide evidence-based, compassionate, patient-centered care. Dr. Etheridge. I aim to serve as an integral leader in the community, which I practice through clinical work, continued research, and public health projects addressing vision care needs. Dr. Jack Korger. I will deliberately practice the skills required to be an exemplary physician and surgeon in ophthalmology. Dr. Risha Mankad. And service is important to me both in and out of healthcare, and I hope to expand my service to the international sphere as I gain competence and surgical skills. Dr. Kevin Schneider. So graduates, as we bring this program to a close, please take a moment to consider these promises you made to yourselves. Look to your peers, the faculty, family, and friends who surround you this evening and will be cheering you on today and into your future careers. Congratulations, and on Wisconsin.